I am workman of the Duwamish tribe. And great grandson of Chief Sian. So now you know who I am. And I mentioned Duwamish, which means inside people. So we're the people of Elliott Bay, of the Suquamish River, of Ibatstolak, Black River, Hatchuaks, Lake Washington people. And so that's where we are today, on this land. And so as I said, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I feel it's important to note that in 1855, just before my grandfather signed his name on this treaty that gave away all of this stuff, well, he and a lot of other chiefs and sub-chiefs, he said this, that the very first thing that we require is unencumbered access to our burial grounds. And so you have to realize we've been here for 10,000 years, 12, 14. The pyramids are brand new to us. And so we have stories in the tribe about when it was cold and there was a great war, and then the cold went away. And so we still live here, we still die here, and all that time. The ancient ones that have passed, they lived down in the ground. So he said the first thing we require is unencumbered access to our burial grounds, because these are important people to us. 10,000 years worth of our people are down here in these grounds. And then he said, you abandon your dead and you think they're powerless, but they're not. They're not entirely powerless. And how the ground is more loving to our feet than it is to yours. Because up until 168, maybe 175 years ago, we never had shoes. We ran around like deer and bear and elk and everybody else, and the mud went right up in between our toes. And so when our feet are in contact with this earth, we are in contact with all of our relatives. All of those relatives that are still in the ground, even today. And then he said, do you abandon your dead? He said that when the lights are out and the streets are empty, they will throng with the ghosts of my people. So when you take all of this and you put it in the context of modern science, you realize what he was talking about. And that is simply this, that as a people we recognize that our grandmas and our grandpas and our aunties and uncles and everybody else that passes away, they go back down into the ground and they get sucked back up into the trees through the roots. They get sucked back up into the berries and back up into the grass. And so when we're in houses like this and we look up at these wooden ceilings, we say, oh, Grandma, Grandpa, I see you in the ceiling. Because we recognize our DNA is in the very structure of these houses. And these houses protect us from the elements. This is the time of year where we would come together for these events. The roofs keep the rain off our head. And in the springtime, when the leaves come out, they give us the oxygen that we use to breathe. So we recognize our ancestors are still in fact alive. And so when we gather around places to eat like this, we say, which is simply, thank you, Grandma and Grandpa, for your life. For those that have passed, for your lives too. That we see you in the food that's on the table in front of us today, and we say thank you for that. Because it's all connected. And here we are, sitting right in this warm building with all of our friends. And right outside is that garden. And it is filled with Grandma and Grandpa. And so it's my honor to stand before you here today and say to you, which is what my grandpa said 168 years ago when he welcomed people to this land. It means invite. And so when people were paddling up in their canoes, he said, well, probably said it slower. Come ashore. You're welcome here. And so we say that as Duwamish people today. Come ashore. You're welcome here into this place. So thank you. Thank you for allowing me to